What's going on, everybody? Shane here from Vulgar Display Gaming, reporting in for KNAC, and I'm joined by Helena of Nervosa. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and thanks for having me.
Of course, I'm excited for this new record, and I want to jump right into it. Slave Machine. It seems like a
Mhm.
fitting title for the times we live in.
Absolutely right. We were kind of thinking a lot and no for this kind of title.
I mean, that's what it seems like. Kind of went for more of the social tone, an aggressive album, as opposed to Jailbreak, where it seems like that was more about even the title, like freedom, stuff like that. Now we're getting sucked back into this time. Was there anything that you contributed to the album that you were like, you know what, this is kind of fucked up going on right now?
I mean, musically, I contribute like as much as on Jailbreak because we compose everything with Prika together. Yeah, this time you said about right that it was more brutal, kind of more heavy and more serious, let's say, the whole vibe and the whole theme of the album, let's say. Jailbreak was a bit more about like being a rebel, and be like against the rules, but this one is kind of more heavy and more touching life these days, and how everything is working and as a society and in general how things are going insane kind of with everything and everywhere. Yeah, it's a bit more brutal, I have to say, in all the aspects, like the lyrically talking, musically talking, the whole vibe of the album. It's a bit heavier, I have to say.
Definitely seems like it for the first track, and I have to say too, how did you go about like balancing the aggression, but you still wanted to get that melody in there, you know?
Great question. Actually, from Jailbreak, we started having a lot of melody in. We had it more like in the leads and the solos and melodies here and there. This time, we wanted to combine everything, even in the rhythm section of the album. There were a lot of riffs, like combining this thing. It was also more heavy and more straight as we wanted. So we kind of it kind of get out kind of naturally, I have to say. We didn't force something to happen. We knew that we want melody and maybe a bit more than the previous album, but we wanted to be more aggressive at the same time. Fortunately, we had this kind of inspiration, so we could make both things happen at the same time.
Exactly. From the title track, Slave Machine, it definitely seems like you kind of captured that essence of like this is aggressive, but it flows nicely. With the times that we live in, I do have to say sometimes some of the best music comes out of the hardest times that we live in. Uh,
Totally,
it's
totally.
just because for me, music inspires. It's art. It's a way for people to release themselves. Were there any moments that particularly inspired your writing to be more aggressive that happened to you personally over the past year or so?
Because this album was written in many parts, composed and recorded like in many parts, because we actually started to create the whole thing back in beginning of 2024, but we had super a lot of touring during 24 and 25. We sit down and we said like there is a chance and a possibility to maybe finish the whole touring thing and then take a break in order to breathe and get in the studio, create everything like in once. But we didn't want it to delay things so much, so we decided to put our schedule down and see where we have the gaps. we've been touring, and the fact that we were kind of all together for such a long period in so many different places in the world, like literally 25 was like all over. It helped to brainstorm a lot, and it helped to take a lot of information from every side, different things, different everything. But we had the chance to gather all this information, and this got us like really inspired about the thing that we wanted to talk about, and it helped us a lot to see it from a lot of different perspectives.
That's great, taking in what's going on in the world and channeling that through your writing, and it definitely shows this time. This time around was a lot different because you recorded this as a five piece. How's that been?
Actually, it was like not all the people together inside. As I told you, we have to uh, film some stuff and then come back. We spent time in the studio, of course, most of the time to do most of the things like at once. That was okay. We had like the limit of time and the deadline and everything because we had to go again on tour. We made most stuff like there and working as a team. Like we might be like a five piece, but just because of time limit and everything and traveling, we had to record like the bass in the studio. I recorded it because we just had to finish everything like super extremely fast, and we didn't have time like to travel people and come again and do this and do that and split. I knew like the structure, the songs, the riffs and everything, so we have to be on time and we had to think. So we say like, okay, for this time let's do it this way. We just try to be, in more efficient.
I totally get it. I was gonna say you did write the bass tracks on Slave Machine, and I'm sure you contributed other bass parts too, because I get it. The studio time is very limited, and you gotta hurry it up, and you gotta try to be all there together when you can. How was it writing bass? What did you go about getting inspiration for that? I know that's not your main instrument.
I like to do it in the studio. I kind of used to do it before, like when I was composing my stuff. Of course, we had the guidance from our producer, Martin Furia. We wanted to not step on the guitar, of course. We wanted to move like in between what the guitar plays, but what the drums are playing also in there. We wanted to make it have its own space, like not following the guitars, not following the drums, having these kind of grooves and fitting all the way around.
So, how did you and Prika go about writing like guitar riffs? Do you guys go back and forth this album? How was it? You guys each come with, hey, I got a song here, and you work that way, or how did it go about this way? Anything different?
Can be both things that you just mentioned. Like many times we have like a folder in there and we are just feeding this folder with ideas and riffs and like longer riffs or just an idea, whatever. Prika or I, we come maybe with the song almost there and we contribute on building it to become a whole thing. Depends, completely depends, but everything is like sitting down. We used to collect a lot of ideas, like every time we have inspiration we just keep ideas in there. But yeah, it's a process that we are just sitting down, work and back and forth and discussing things and discussing stuff and playing and exchanging a lot of ideas.
No, it's great having another guitarist and somebody to bounce ideas off of, go back and forth. However, I know you mentioned that Scorpions is like your favorite band.
Mhm.
Were you bringing any Scorpion energy to this? Were you listening to any good albums before writing, or how did that go about?
I know that we play like more extreme music, but even if it sounds weird, Scorpions has to do like a big thing with that. Because like Matthias Jabs is one of my favorite guitarists, but and the way that he's handling all the lead parts in there is super inspiring for me because he's not playing only like the solos. The solos are amazing, yes. But it's not only that, it's all the things that he's putting here and there, and all the, the details and all the decoration in the song. You kind of singing the melodies and say like, wait, where did I listen that? And it was like such a short melody somewhere behind the verse, for example. And this for me, it's like so inspiring, and consider it so extremely clever, like to make people like automatically sing the melody and remember the melody without realizing to me, it's like genius.
See, that's why I love talking to musicians. You pick apart a song and you can identify each layer to a song and say you like you said, you were picking out things that I never even thought of, and now I want to go back and listen to a bunch of old school Scorpions and just listen to it and appreciate those smaller, finer details, like picking apart just a guitar track, focusing on that.
Exactly. I love that because you have the guitar solo and everything about the guitar solo and the guitar heroes. Yeah, okay. But until you arrive to the guitar solo that will be in the third minute of a, I don't know, 4.5 minute long song, you have all these other things that make the song great. You're not waiting for just a super, insane guitar solo. I mean, there are things before that make the whole thing become big, and also then you can appreciate the guitar solo that is coming.
Exactly, just those smaller things building up to the over-encompassing track, how it finishes. With that being said, was there anything on this album that surprised you once it was fully composed and fully recorded? They're like, wow, I didn't think this was gonna work, but wow, we nailed this, and this whole track came together so well.
I think it was about the Slave Machine track, actually. We realized that it's going to be a really fast song when we started recording it. As I told you, we also wanted to combine it to be melodic and aggressive. And everything started to be like in so much high tempo. And I was like, how exactly we're going to fit everything? Like to keep kind of the groove in there, have melody. It's like in 250 BPM and the double bass and the kicks in the back. And I was like, okay, interesting, but it's like too many things, become a thing and not fail in the end. By the time we composed, we had the riff from the chorus, I was sure that it's going to work. It's going to work because it was just exactly what we needed, because we needed something to not make the song, go down. We needed something really fast to keep the song going and have it to be non-stop, but it also has this melody inside. So by that time, when we had this riff, I said like, okay, now I'm feeling safe. Now I'm feeling okay. And now I really believe that the song is gonna work. And when it came, like in the end, when we finished everything about that song, it was really, for us, it was like kind of obvious that it's gonna be the number one single to go out, because it kind of represents everything we put in the album.
See, that's great. Once you doubted a track, you heard it once it's composed, you listened to those details and it came together, and then you realize, hey, that's the single right there. And the music video is cool too.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you guys go about doing that? You were like, yeah, this seems like a cool idea, or did you pitch anything to it, or do you guys all collaborate on it, or how'd you do that?
No, actually, we had some ideas like here and there, and it was not that hard because, as I told you, we've been talking a lot about the concept and about everything, so it was not that hard to come with ideas. And I think the title kind of says it all, what you should include in there and how things and the whole vibe should be. It was not hard to arrive there, and also we totally trust Dimitris Preve, that we already have worked in all the previous video clips, the director, so we totally trust on his vision. And it was kind of easier also because having him working with us in all the previous video clips, we knew each other, and he knows us, and he knows what we want and what we want to achieve. So he's putting also his perspective, and everything comes together nicely.
Hey, that's always great when you worked with somebody already. They already know what you want. It just makes it a lot easier, you know?
Yeah, the thing is like to find the correct person that you're also matching together. And in the beginning, you can be like a bit like, just the start until you totally understand each other. But once you realize that you fit, then everything is kind of safer and you can enjoy more also the process.
100%. I'm glad it all came together. But I want to go back to you mentioned this, and maybe if whoever's watching doesn't know, but Martin, he's in Destruction and he's a really great producer too. And you worked with him. I know you've worked with him before. How was it this time around? Did he suggest any new tones for you, any new gear, or what are you rocking in for this album?
Yeah, Martin has produced, like, now it's the fourth album actually that he's producing for Nervosa. And the second album, I'm working together with him because the first one was in Jailbreak that we just worked together for the first time. Kind of easier and everything is smoother because we know each other now and we worked before. It feels more safe and you don't have to overthink about things. Everything is working so extremely fast because we know each other's way, and like recording guitars was like we didn't even have to talk to each other. We were like giving signs, yeah, okay, go. And he's great because he knows how to take the best of you. He knows when you have to give also more, and he knows how to achieve that, but always keeping a super nice like vibe inside the studio. And it's super important because we were working like long hours in order to succeed that. It's important to have a person to keep everything there. Of course, about the tone, we tried a lot of stuff and we changed a lot of stuff according to the previous album. He was sending back and forth mixes and we were checking stuff, changing, details here and there because we wanted to succeed a bit more aggressive result, even in the sound, but aggressive, but kind of clean. We didn't want it to be like a very muddy and very, we wanted to be like a punch in the face.
I think you definitely achieved that tone that you're looking for. It's definitely a punch in the face. It's still a rough, aggressive tone, but it seems more
Yeah,
like kind of cleaner. But it punches straight through. I can distinctly tell the differences between this, just even the first track, and Jailbreak.
yeah. That was what you said. It was exactly the result that we wanted.
And you achieved it. Was there any other parts that you maybe went back and re-recorded any tracks that you're like, I ain't too sure about this riff, or are there things you actually had, or you were just solid on everything?
We had no time to go back. Once it's done, it's done. I mean, we were glad because we finished everything kind of like maybe 2 days before the deadline, and we were super extremely happy that we have time to listen the whole thing, like sit down and put track one to the final track and listen to everything, to the whole thing. No, we didn't went back to change anything.
Hey, you didn't have time.
Time, and also we don't really like to do that. We like to work like song by song, make sure that what we did there and it's this. We don't like to go and then having in the mind that I didn't really like that part and let's go back and then go. No. Like things that and then go to the next.
Exactly. I can tell that you are sure of yourself. You go in with a riff, you're like, this is the riff we're going to use. I like this riff. I like how I wrote it, and we're going to rock with it and stick with it. But were there any, how do you say, new gear updates you had? Any new pedals? Are you using one of those fancy little boxes now? You still like tube amps? What you got going on nowadays?
A lot of things. I mean, we tried out as many things as possible to end up there. And we've been, like me and Priga, we always kind of conclude to a sound and a tone that we like for the album and for our sound on stage. Lasts maybe for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, we're like, you know what I like, but maybe could be a bit more of this and a bit more of that. And, we go back and try more stuff. because it's kind of never ending. You're like, okay, I like that. I can go. And then we're coming back from the tour and we're like, you know what? I've been listening to how it was sounding and maybe we should change this. So we are still always kind of in the process of trying whatever as long as it sounds good.
I mean, I got plenty of buddies who play guitars, and they either got huge pedal boards, or they got the little boxes now, or they use tube amps, or there's like this power stage thing. It's insane. There's always new stuff coming out, always new guitars, and you're always checking things out. Is there anything that you're looking forward to taking on tour? Any new specific gear for the guitar nerds out there?
Actually, I still haven't got this here in my home, but I tried it before. It's the new pedal boards from Blackstar that is coming out, and actually they are trying a bit more digital things. And I tried that, and it was sounding really good and really promising. I'm gonna have that here, and I would like to test it in here first and see how this will be, and maybe I don't know, take it on the road. No matter how much you like the having amplifiers and heavy cabinets and go all the way like analog, sometimes it's not possible. So you have to minimize things in order to be fast, in order to make it traveling all the way and flying everywhere. So yeah, it's sometimes it's not what exactly you would like to have with you. It's what you can have and you should have, actually.
Yeah, I know you were out in my neck of the woods for NAMM, so I'm pretty sure you saw all sorts of cool things out there.
I wish I had more time, even like because it's insanely a lot of things in there to check and things you might be interested in, but it's also like crazy things that even if you never play them, you would like to try them because it's sometimes insane.
That's what I'm saying. Just technology all around is just getting insane. Like now, Slave Machine, your 6 Yums coming out April
Third.
3rd.
Yeah.
Me being out here in the US, I want to know any US tour dates this year? What's going on with that? Or are we going to be expecting it or?
Yeah, we're working on that. We're working on everything. Actually, right now, it's the period that we had kind of a gap from touring because we want to like focus in promoting the new album, take a breath from all the previous year, and having actually the proper time to prepare everything for the next month. So US is we are working to make things happen there.
Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Is there anything else you want to tell everybody watching at home? Anything you want to tell talk to the young women playing guitar, tell them to pick it up. You know, we need more women in metal.
Of course we need not only metal, like in everywhere. Like if you're thinking about grabbing a guitar, if you're thinking about starting a band, if you're thinking about anything, just do it. Just go for it.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Helena. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys when you guys come to the States.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Have a nice day there.